Hi, this is Mike Cuddy, and I have my latest project up here, which I'm calling Game Ratings. And essentially, what this page does is it uses a CSV file right here that I got from Kaggle as usual, and it has all this data in it, almost like 16,000 game titles. And I kind of just wanted to analyze this data and make some graphs from it, and I'll show that in a second. And also, it has another feature where it web scrapes Metacritic. So here's God of War, and we see the average score for this. So it accumulates all the scores from all the different things. It gives the average, but what I wanted to really see is the standard deviation. So we'll take a look at that. And so let's start by looking at the project. So here's the home page, and it has this setup like this, and it's all built with CSS Grid. Then I have it be responsive, how it somewhat changes. I have to say the one part about this project that I kind of struggled with, it's the one part of HTML and CSS that I still feel a little bit weak on, is getting my pictures to look right. Yeah, the ratios are a little bit wrong. It makes them look warped. So that's just something I need to work on. But other than that, I feel really confident in the structure, laying out a site how I want it to be set up. So we enter it, and we can either look at CSV data or web scraping. I'll actually start on the right-hand side over here, web scraping, because it's a lot easier and it's not as big. So the web scraping page, it has this message about the autocomplete. That looked much better on Firefox. But this system here pulls from Metacritic, and I couldn't build an autocomplete off Metacritic, so I essentially used this document right here to build an autocomplete because the game titles are somewhat similar. So up here with God of War, you see how it set up God of War right there? Is Metacritic needs the game to be typed exactly correct. So Halo 5 can't be Halo 5. It should be Halo 5 Guardians. And it can't even have the semicolon right after the 5 there. So that's that. So let's type in like Alien Isolation. A very kind of controversial game. We'll look at the PS4 version and submit it. And now it's web scraping it. It gives us the message again. And here's what it comes back. So the mean is 79.56. The median is just about the same thing at 80. The standard deviation is 10.1. And I have this D3 JavaScript aspect of it right here showing kind of like the spread of the game. So 19 reviews give it in the 90s, 20 in the 80s. So this graph I didn't want to spend a lot of time on. I'll have to admit I was more focused on just doing this aspect of it. And to display this data right here, I'm using Vue.js. So that's the first time I've ever even used Vue in a project. And so that's that right there. And I'll just type in like God of War, which got incredible reviews this past spring. So we'll wait a second. It comes up in the game. As you can see, the mean and median is almost the same. The standard deviation is only 6.02. And you can see how much tightly clustered the games are. Alien Isolation, if you're a gamer, will know that the scores were all over the place. I personally liked the game, but I know IGN, for example, despised it. Give it a 5.6 or 5.8. So that's that page. Just looking at just web scraping and pulling all the data, and I'll show you the code right there for that. And at first I could not web scrape Metacritic, they wouldn't allow it, but adding, I think it was this line right here, especially this part right here, whatever this did, reading on Stack Overflow allowed me to bypass them and web scrape it, so that worked right there. And so that's the code essentially right there for web scraping. And then I'll go back to CSV data and show this page. So that's when I'm talking about the background images. Like that's stretching it to the max. So it looks a little bit better. Bring it down. And here's what the page looks like. And I don't show the graphs on a phone because the graphs just, you can't look at them correctly, I think, on a smartphone. So, and I just do like correlation between global sales and critic score. Average game rating is 70.27. That's for all games and all genres and all years. And then right here we can say like enter year, let's say 2000, and I want to see the best sports game that got the max rating. Shows you that game title. I can look up like again God of War. Select it. 94, which it showed from the web scraping and Metacritic, obviously right back here. So that's just right on par. So I actually think for that CSV file is showing that they actually web scraped Metacritic. In a racing game, and it shows you max earnings by genre. So what games made the most. And here's some graphs. Now, if we look at them, here's all systems. This is number of games for all the systems, and as you can see in 2008 and 2009 it was a height, and slowly when it started to go back down. But I can look at the Atari 2600. I don't think this is 100% accurate because some of the numbers just don't make sense to me, like 19 games in 1986. No, I just don't think that's right, but it gives you a general feel that if we look at a Super Nintendo, and if you went all the way down, you would see all the Nintendo systems moving across the chart. So it allows you to see a lot of the system's game stat. And this one is basically to select basically the number of games by genre. And fighting, I was really interested in because I knew it was popular in the mid 90s, and then it kind of drops back down. Where I was not expecting it to be back up. I can't even name really fighting games that fall way up here. But I remember Final Fight and Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat were really popular here, and I really thought it was a genre that fell out of favor. Racing is another one that's kind of, it peaked in the early 2000s. It's kind of gone down since then. Then this third graph is a little bit different from all the rest. This one is one of my friends from the Marine Corps came over, and I was showing him this project, and he was interested in seeing this right here. So it was game ratings with a rating of M for mature in the school shootings. And that's why I have the school shootings data in my project as well. And as you can see, these are school shootings. And there doesn't seem to be that much of a correlation, but my friend just wanted to see that. He's not a gamer or anything like that. He actually works in education. So I just threw that in. And so that's essentially the project. And if you want to read, see more about this, check it out on the blog. And I will say that this is the first Python Flask project that I've actually used blueprints. So as you can see, I have all the CSV data in this folder, and then all the scraping stuff in this folder. So blueprints allows you to break up your Flask project into separate modules. So the site itself, like the home page, is in this folder. So it's 3 separate folders. So it makes it easier instead of having massive files. Like I think it's much cleaner. It was a little bit pain at first to use. Like you have, this is what runs everything, and set all this up. It was just a pain at first to get it comfortable with it, but once I did, it's smooth sailing. And so I'll probably be using blueprints for now on my projects. It's just much cleaner, I think. So, yep, that's this project, and have a great day.